Good evening all and welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. It's Saturday night, it's the 26th of October, which can mean only one thing. It is the Wychwood Goblins Tasting Night, and the beer in question is as dark as the season in which we are about to enter. The beer in question is this one. It's the Black Witch. It is the porter that is spellbinding, dark and mysterious according to the label. And it's been a beer I've drunk quite a lot of over the years, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Something I learned about it a little while ago, a couple of days ago that was, is it was originally brewed as a stout until Marston's got their hands on Wychwood, at which point they turned it into a porter, because they already had stout on their books. So that was a little fact that I learned this week, and every day is a school day. And today we're going to learn, is it better warm? And by warm I mean sort of room temp-ish versus cold. Yes, cold being fridged, and you can tell which one's been in the fridge because it's got a lovely bit of haze on the bottle. This one's warmer, this one's cold, and yeah, what can I tell you about it? Well, I'm going to put the cold one down because I don't want to warm it up too much. It says, the Black Witch has cast her spell. Start with a measure of alluringly rich dark malt and allow the bitterness to creep in. This silkily smooth porter is a force to be reckoned with. So yes, it's dark and mysterious, and it is smooth. Let's not lie. And it's 5% ABV. It says so right down there on the base of the label, and it's an old label on the old Wychwood stuff. At the minute, it remains to be seen whether or not Black Witch is going to survive. I hope it does, because it's a fantastic, fantastic beer. And by survive, I mean there's been a bit of a chop and change to the menu, so to speak, that's offered by Wychwood. A couple have fallen by the wayside, sadly, but there are some new ones en route, is what I've been told. So, onwards and upwards, let's drink the beer. We're going to pour the room temp into a glass that can only be fitting. It's Guinness. It's dark. It's a dark beer into a dark beer glass, and the fridge version into the 2018 Hobgoblin Halloween Special Edition glass, because it is the unofficial beer of Halloween. Whether or not they keep that kind of moniker going on is another matter. So we are going to start by pouring the warmer version first. So let's get that one. Get her open and pour into the Guinness glass. The pour will be dark, it will be smooth. Here we are. Smell it already. Whoop. Bit of a lively pour, that one. Let's let that one calm down a bit. Got a bit excitable towards the end. Where's me dear dog gone? It's beer towel. Let's my Oakham beer towel, as it happens. Mop up. I do wish other breweries would do proper towels of this nature. Wychwood, you really should, because I would love them. Anyway, let's now we're slightly cleaned up. Let's pour the remainder of this one. A little bit more gentle this time. To get this in a pub, you'd ask for it to be topped up. I'm no barman, so I'm making no claims to being able to pour the perfect pint. There we are. Would you like a flake with that, sir? There we are. So that's our glass of Black Witch room temp. So we get something slightly better poured from the fridge version. Which we're going to pour, as said, into the Hobgoblin glass. Much less excitable. Actually got to encourage the head on this one. There we go. So we have fridge version. We have room temp version. Who's going to win? Who knows? Is it really a competition? It's just a case of which we prefer, really. So we're going to start with the aromas. So, coffee, malt, a little bit of dark fruit coming from the room temp. As for the cold, similar but muted, which isn't exactly unexpected from a fridge temp beer. So let's have a little taste of the room temp. Sublime. It is smooth, it is silky, there's a little bit of chocolate going on, you've got a tiny hint of coffee, the finish is that sweet malt comes through, and there's a tiny hint of the dark chocolate on the finish as well. It's very nice. Always, it's a beautiful pint. Let's go for the fridged version. Do we get the same? We get more bitterness when it's cold. I do anyway. It knocks out some of that chocolate. It knocks out some of the openness of the flavour when it's warmer. The finish is a little drier, bizarrely. It's very much the same as the room temp, just dialed right down in terms of all the flavour. And this is not exactly unexpected. I normally drink my Black Witch room temp because of what we've just seen. You get the flavours and that much more open, they're more vibrant, they're alive, and it just allows a true character of the beer to come through. The body, let's go back to the room temp. It's typical of a porter. It's not as heavy as a stout, but it ain't far behind. The colder one, you could argue the temperature's got everything that little bit more tightly knit in terms of the middle. Well, it's probably pseudo bullshit. For me, it seems like everything is just that little bit more dense, perhaps because the molecules can't move around as much because they're colder. And it just seems a little bit thicker. Probably wrong, but who knows? It could just be that I'm under the spell of the Black Witch. So, which do I prefer? Do I prefer the room temp or the cold? Well, it's a bit of a silly question. Let's go back to the cold. I'm going to put the cold one down. I'm going to go back to the warm because my penchant for dark beers is warmer. As I've already said, the flavours are allowed to breathe, they're allowed to do their thing when they're a little bit warmer. So for that reason and that reason alone, the win goes to the Black Witch, which is warmer. So yeah, it's wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. And I know that there's going to be plenty of goblins out there tonight in the Wychwood Goblins group who are going to put out some fantastic costumes. Jen, I know you will. Kerry, I don't doubt that you will either. Me, I'm still elated from the rugby earlier today because England won their World Cup semi-final against New Zealand, 19-7. And it was just wonderful, wonderful thing. So I am going to go and celebrate with this pair of witches, which are wonderful, which are amazing. They're dark, they're mysterious, as they say. It's a beautiful beer, Wychwood. I sincerely hope you keep it on your rota because the world will be a much lesser place without it. So there we are, ladies and gents, boys and girls, members of the coven. This has been Black Witch. I have been Nick, and I will see you again soon for another video. Bye.